Andrew Green. So, growing up, I know a lot of people want to be like, firemen, policemen, astronauts, pro wrestlers.
Right.
And I know when I was little, I had the trampoline. And since my trampoline broke. And when that broke, my dream of becoming a wrestler broke. Mm-hmm. So, but you, my friend, are on the journey to become, are you considered a pro wrestler yet? Or
I would say, I'd say for sure I am, yeah. Especially this place. This place is definitely tough. Yeah. And I feel like there's a lot of professional wrestlers, like legit professionals that come through here and are a part of our show. So I definitely consider myself like peers among them for sure.
Yeah. Well, before we go any further, I'm just going to say we are currently broadcasting from the Booker T World Gym Arena here in Texas City, Texas, and I'm here with rising star Brenden Steen. Thanks for being on here, man.
Thank you, Andrew.
Very cool. Yeah, dude. I used to say, how long have you been wrestling for?
Like I said, I got a weird story with my background.
Let's hear it, man.
I've been back since last year, March of 2018, but I wrestled before that about 6 or 7 years ago. 2 years for his old promotion, which was Booker T's PWA.
Yeah.
So altogether, it's probably about 3 years.
That was at the Pasadena Convention Center. We did stuff right there, right?
Yeah, we did at the Pasadena Convention Center and Clear Lake Rec Center.
Okay,
time.
Yeah.
And our training facility was located in downtown Houston, off of Commerce.
Yeah,
Street.
sure, yeah. Mm-hmm. So you're not from Texas, are you?
No, I'm from New Orleans originally.
New Orleans?
Yeah.
All right.
I say I'm from Jersey, but I'm actually from New Orleans, yeah.
You say, so you lived in Jersey for a while?
I never have, actually. I had an old Jersey gimmick back in the day.
Oh, did you?
Because my accent from New Orleans apparently has a Jersey accent. I don't know. And they said, you should be from Jersey, so I was Joey Jersey. But yeah.
Joey Jersey.
But originally I'm from New Orleans, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and
easy.
You said for about 3 years you've been...
All together. So the 2 years from back then and then the whole year I've been back now. So altogether 3 years.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Well, first of all, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 28.
28, okay. That's cool. So... tell me about growing up. How were you growing up? Just tell me the first time you saw wrestling when you got turned on to it.
My first memory at wrestling is probably when I was like 5. I was just sitting on the couch with my dad, flipping through channels, and I just remember he stopped. I guess I would assume it was the USA Network back then. It was Raw, I would assume, because it was very brief. It was like a 10-second thing.
Yeah.
And I just remember seeing Shawn Michaels in the ring with a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
With some authority figures. I think Sergeant Slaughter, whoever was like the authority figure back then.
Yeah.
Giving us some rundown, and then my dad changed it. So
I was
like, that was my first memory of wrestling. But then I think it was the following year in first grade. I would go to school and my buddies were talking about it. And I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And I started watching it from there, honestly. But I started watching WCW first.
Okay. Yeah, that was still going on.
Yeah. It was back in like the NWO, right when they were taking off.
Yeah.
WCW was actually at that time beating the WWF in the ratings. Yeah. So I gravitated towards the NWO and then later on the Wolfpack. Mm-hmm. And then eventually, once WCW started to go on the decline, I made the switch over to WWF seamlessly, and from there,
it didn't matter. It just fit naturally.
It just fit naturally. I loved the product. Yeah, both of them were great, but I don't know. They didn't have DX at the time. It was all the NWO was first.
NWO was the biggest thing.
They kind of took a lot from them. So I went from WCW to WWF and kind of just never looked back, man.
Yeah.
I would say, as far as like knowing when I wanted to do this, I would say I was probably about 9 because I remember watching Wrestlemania 2000. That was my first Wrestlemania.
In Anaheim,
Anaheim, 16. And for that Wrestlemania, it started at noon that day. And it started at noon because they were showing highlights from all the previous Wrestlemanias. So all the Wrestlemanias that I missed, I got to see like a little
that's awesome.
Little 30-minute package of each Wrestlemania.
And that's still when you had to buy it on pay-per-view.
Yeah, well,
not like the network these days.
Exactly. And I had a cable box, so back then
it
was illegal. We got to watch it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We had so they did like a 30-minute package of each Wrestlemania. So I got to see pretty much the rundown of 1 through 15.
Okay.
And then at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, 16 started. And I watched all of 16. And I remember as soon as it ended, my dad and my mom were like, go to bed, brush your teeth, get ready for school the next day. And I remember just brushing my teeth, looking in the mirror going, that's what I want to do.
So what moment stood out to you the most from WrestleMania 2000?
Oh, I would say the main event. The main event for me.
That was the Fatal 4-Way, right?
Fatal 4-Way with Foley, Big Show, Mick Foley, and Triple H. That was the big. Oh, and The Rock.
The Rock. Yeah.
I think I missed one. Yeah. But that was the 4, and I remember I was a big fan of The Rock. Obviously, I love The Rock and Stone Cold, but I always appreciated the bad guys, and I always loved, Triple H growing up as a kid. He was a huge I looked up to him a lot. And when he won, I didn't think he was going to win that night, but when he won, I was just like, oh, man, that was my guy. He won. I don't know. That's what stood out for me that night, for sure.
Triple H.
The bad guy winning.
A thing that definitely stood out to me, because Triple H is one of my favorites. I used to play Triple H throughout all the Raw versus SmackDown games. Here, 2007, my PSP is still picking it up every time to time. It's fun, man. But the thing that stood out to me from Triple H is his entrance music.
Right.
The Motorhead song, and that's what turned me on to like the heavier music and stuff like that. Absolutely loved it.
And that time he didn't even have that music.
It was like
it was the game,
it was
which I like that better, honestly. I know I'm weird, but I like that old school like the game original intro they had.
But So I got turned on to wrestling when I was like in 5th grade or whatever. That's when Friday Night SmackDown was still a thing, not like SmackDown Live or whatever they're doing with it now. But it was still on Sci-Fi or one of those channels. Spike, one of the two.
Okay, yeah, or UPN, one of the,
Yeah, but it came on and my mom didn't want me watching it, so I had my my OTV upstairs. I'd watch Friday Night SmackDown, keep the volume on very low. Then when I hear it come in the living room, I would quickly change the channel.
I've been there, man.
And that's when SmackDown was like 2008, 2009. So.
I was probably here actually in Houston on my first stint with wrestling at that time.
Oh, really? Yeah, because that's when like WrestleMania 25 was.
That was my first WrestleMania I went to.
Oh, very cool. That's when I was just turning on, like getting into it. I'm like, Dad, let's go, and he didn't understand that WrestleMania is in a different like city every year.
Yeah.
So we didn't go, but that's okay. I'm sure I'll have my other chance in life.
They'll come back to Texas.
They're going back, But I got turns like Edge, and a wrestler that I related to the most was Rey Mysterio, because I was the smallest kid growing up, and Rey Mysterio was the smallest guy doing all these crazy cool moves.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
He's phenomenal, man. So which wrestler, I guess, did you relate to the most? Was it Triple H?
It was like, it's funny, man. Like, so when I was in WCW, it was probably Nash. Believe it or not, it was Kevin Nash. I like the bad guys growing up. It was Nash, probably Triple H. From Triple H, it probably went to, like, I would say Benoit. From Benoit, it probably went to Jericho to Edge. Like, I just had these different guys. I had periods of time where I really appreciated them all. And as I'm older now and I study it now, it's like it's a lot different. I don't look at it as a fan too much anymore. I still do every once in a while, like at WrestleMania or special moments. But now I look back on, I really appreciate guys like Bret Hart.
Oh yeah,
like I appreciate a lot of guys from back in before my time, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Because you learn so much from them, and you see a lot of people that you do look up to growing up. They looked up to those guys, So Bret Hart, I think, is like one of my favorites for sure.
And I was going to bring that up because watching your matches, you remind me of Bret Hart.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that right now. So mixture of Bret Hart and Randy Savage.
Okay, yeah. Those are two of my favorites right there. Honestly, probably 1 and 2 are right. Those two guys right there.
Definitely, yeah. So you said though, like 10 years ago when you were first starting out wrestling, and then here we are 10 years later, but you said you're basically wrestling for on and off for 3 years. What happened during that gap?
Oh, well, when I was younger, I had I don't know really what I really mainly attribute to. I could say I was burnt out. I missed my family because I was away, I was 6 hours away and I missed them. I just had doubts, I should be in school or I should be having like a normal life.
Yeah.
And, I just burnt out, I think, the main thing.
Yeah.
So I went back home, I tried school out, I tried a normal job out, and it just wasn't for me.
Tell me about your school experience. Where did you?
I went to, I tried to go to Delgado Community College, and I did it for about maybe a month.
Oh,
and it just it wasn't for me. So then I wanted to make money. That was my main thing.
Yeah.
So I started to begin bartending, and I got lucky and got this bartending job on Bourbon Street.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got a lot of crazy experiences from that, but I did that for about 2 years, and just different jobs from there. When I was going to construction, landscaping, just bounced around. But bartending, that's where definitely the money's at for sure.
Bartending. Yeah. So Bourbon Street. I mean, I imagine you were there during Mardi Gras.
Oh God, yeah, it's insanity.
Like
you're talking about a million people on one street, millions of people on just one tiny street. It's insane.
So. What's one of the strangest things you've seen from your bartending day? I mean, first of all, it's Mardi Gras, so you probably have thousands of stories about that.
Yeah, a lot of them I can't even say. I mean, it's just,
you can say whatever you want on this.
I'm trying to think. Well, if you walk down Bourbon Street and you get just keep walking and you just start seeing people doing stuff you wouldn't expect to be doing in public.
Yep.
certain parts of their clothing are off.
Yeah. I imagine.
You imagine they'd be get arrested, but they're not. I don't know. It's just weird stuff
It's
like that.
New Orleans. It's like their own country over there. They have their own rules.
It really is insane. I can't believe we can drink all night long. There's no cutoff. It's insane.
Oh, there wasn't any cutoff?
Oh, no. I grew up. I started drinking when I was like 13. I started getting in bars at 13.
Oh, really?
And, like, you could literally drink until 11 noon the next day and just keep going. There's no cutoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
So when you went away from wrestling for the while, when you're just trying out these different jobs, did you basically kind of just say, oh, there's no chance I would be going back to wrestling? Did you just put it off? Or?
I put it off in my head in the sense that, like, I gave that a shot, and I had fun with it, and I was good at it, but I just didn't think I'd ever honestly make it. You know, it's just back then, and especially like there was really only one place to go. It was WWE and maybe TNA at that time, and I just I remember the product at the time too was terrible. I couldn't stand watching WWE. I thought I know it's kind of odd, but like I was right around that.
Well, it hasn't changed much.
Yeah, it really hasn't. It was right around when Shawn Michaels retired. I just remember like.
I remember.
It was just a weird.
That's when
time.
I was watching.
Yeah, it was a weird time. I just wasn't. I couldn't gravitate to it like I used to, and I think that might have been the main thing. When I was away though, I tune in every once in a while and I'd see stuff, and I remember like Punk having his like thing. I remember that's like the main thing. That's like the main thing I missed. I think was like Punk's era, but I got his DVD, so I got to see kind of like all the highlights from that.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely missed it though for sure. There's a part of me that just missed it, but it just I don't know. I was like, what's the point, you know?
Yeah. So I guess So I bet during that time, were you getting depressed?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I depressed, just wasn't happy in life because it just wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, you know?
Definitely.
You know, and like that's what I've learned with that time away was like, you know, you might not think you're going to make this, but if you're good at it and you give it all you got, you might make a name for yourself in this. And I don't know. I have a completely different mindset the second time around. I really think I could do it this time, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't think I could. You know? And I don't know. I don't know what the word is. I have a high confidence this time, as opposed. I have the confidence that I needed when I was younger. You know, when I was younger, I was unsure of myself. Now I'm 28. I'm a lot more sure of myself. Yeah.
So when you say you weren't gravitating toward wrestling, so did you kind of have that guilt when it would come on TV? You're just like, I'm not gonna pay attention to it. I don't want anything to do with it.
Every time, it would be hard to watch for sure. I'd either change the channel, or if my buddy would be watching, I'd go in another room. It'd just be like it was tough for me.
So did you still have people? Did anyone like any of your wrestling friends were still like trying to, hey man, when you're coming back, they try to keep egging you on? Or
for the first like couple years, I mean, it's tough for any like long-term relationship, you know, with your friends. I was gone, you know, 6 hours is a long ways away. We stayed in touch, and I maybe made like 2 trips in that 6-year span to come over here just to hang out with them and say hi.
Yeah.
But you know, you grow apart, and it just happens. But they looked out for me definitely for the first 2 years. Like, hey, you coming back? You know, we miss your stuff for sure.
Yeah. So what got you back into it?
I just got fed up with my life, like where my life was at, and I was like, the only way I'm going to be happy is if I'm doing something that I love. And at the end of the day, the happiest I ever was in my life at that point was when I was wrestling. My entire life, that's the one thing I wanted to do. And like when I truly realized like this is what makes me happy, I just balls to the wall, 100 miles an hour towards it, and I've never looked back since, honestly.
Nice. And that was
February 2018. Like, you know, really just like, you know, like I'm gonna put all my eggs in one basket, all my clothes, everything I own in my car, and come out here. Yeah.
So that was
I moved out here March 1st, 2018.
March 1st, 2018. Yeah. What was your last job before you came back?
Landscaping. Yeah, landscaping.
Oh, really?
Yeah, cutting grass, weed eating,
man.
edging, all that stuff. Yeah. Me and my buddy had like a little landscaping stuff we do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, what was your like? Are you close with your family? I would say, were they supportive of you? Were they?
Yeah. I mean, well, it's funny. Like, obviously, like when I was growing up, you know, like. When I was a kid, I was like, "What do you want to do for like, you know, what do you want to do when you grow up?" I was like, "I want to be a wrestler."
Yeah. Go jump on the trampoline.
Yeah. They're just like, "Yeah, all right, good for you." And then high school comes around, and they ask me the question again, and it's like, you know, freshman year, what do you want to do? I want to be a wrestler.
Be a wrestler.
It's like, all right, we'll ask them next year. Well, sophomore year, what do you want to do? It's the same answer.
Yeah.
And then senior year rolls around, and it's like, all right, what do you want to do? And do not say wrestler. And it's like, well, I want to be a wrestler. You know, it just never changed. So I think growing up around that time, they didn't see the point. They weren't as supportive of it, but I think definitely this time around they're 100% on board.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because they see how happy it makes me, you know, and they saw what it did to me when it wasn't in my life.
Yeah.
You know, so for sure they're on board for sure this time.
That's So did they come down? They watch your matches?
Yeah, they come down. They came for my debut.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
But it's still, it's a hard trip for them to make. You know what I mean? And not everybody can make it. I understand, you know.
They're
watching this, but you know,
I-10 is
right, exactly.
Getting into Texas.
They also came to see me a lot when I was younger, so they don't owe anything to me to come to my shows and see me. You know, and they also got now we got TV now, so they can,
on
they
YouTube,
can just watch
you
me,
know.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Reality of wrestling.
Yeah.
So so like I said,
also Fight TV. I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Oh, Fight TV. Yeah, nice. But like I said, we're at the Booker T World Gym Arena, home of Reality of Wrestling, the promotion. So what was it? So Booker T, now a 2-time WWE Hall of Famer, 5-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion. What's it like wrestling for Booker T?
Always learning, for sure. Every day is a learning experience. It's tough. It's not easy. It's when you come in here, the first thing you're like told to do, if you got no wrestling background, is you got 10 days of conditioning, which consists of 250 burpees, push-ups, squats, and crunches. And you got to do every single one of them. And you got people watching you throughout training to make sure you're doing it. So your first 10 days is just amazing, just a challenge. And not only it's just a challenge with yourself if you can do it. But once you make it out of that 10-day, you know, like I call it it's kind of like a test. Once you get past that, you get put in the beginner ring and you learn your rolls, your bumps, your basics.
Okay.
And then from there, how fast you progress, you move on to the advanced ring.
Yeah.
And then from there, if you're good enough, you get to be a part of the show.
So
but it's a lot harder than I gave you that run. It's a
so
lot harder.
Would you compare it to Hell Week for Navy SEALs in a sense?
No. Those guys don't get sleep, you know. Those guys, It's just it could be a grind on your brain, on your mental capacity for over time, I'd say. Especially if you're just like if you're in a rut or if you're not progressing, it could be tough. But the thing is just to keep coming in and giving everything you got, ask questions, and sit and learn. You know, sit and watch. That sometimes can be the biggest things to help you out when you're just starting out.
Yeah. So even though it's Booker T's gym, how involved is he with actually the whole training process?
It's amazing how often he's here. It really is, because he's got such a busy schedule. And he's also got a family on top of that.
Yeah.
He's in here at least 2 to 3 times a week, constantly.
Really?
Watching us, critiquing us, giving us feedback. We have our weekly film study where we're all gathered in his room. We watch matches. Where he breaks down tape and we go over stuff. We have 5-minute matches we perform in front of him where he'll, give us feedback.
Is that what I saw on Facebook the other
day?
Yeah.
That was my first one that you got to see like back a year ago. Against Will, the guy I'm fighting now.
That was a good match.
Yeah,
too.
It wasn't bad for like, you know.
It wasn't bad for a little, And, my headphones came out. Okay, there we go. I saw because Booker T was just on the side of the ring, just watching, eyes on. I'm like, because I know some of these people would say, it's my gym, but they're not really like involved with it, you know. Right. But with Booker T, you said he's here 2-3 times a week. Well, what's the best advice that you've gotten from him?
Best advice for him. He really gives me a lot of advice. I think the main thing is just relax when you're in there.
Relax.
And just be sure of yourself. I think that's the main thing. It's kind of like weird when you hear it like that, but like it helps me out a lot, because sometimes when you're in there, you feel like you got to do this or you got to do that. You got to be over the top, and you don't have to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to be comfortable and confident, and I don't know. It just projects, and the crowd feeds off of that. And that's some stuff he's told me that's gotten through to me for sure.
Yeah. Definitely. So I know that you said people you said like other legends have come in here to help you guys out, to help you guys perform better. I know that you told me when I first met you that the Boogeyman came in here.
Yeah, I actually got to wrestle him.
Yeah. What was that? So was it like, holy crap, I'm about to wrestle the Boogeyman, or?
It's kind of a funny story. I was told I was gonna wrestle him that day, and I showed up, and I talked to Kevin. I was like, "So I'm wrestling Boogie tonight?" He goes, "Yeah, but you gotta go tell him," because he didn't know I was wrestling that night. he was passing out candy or whatever to the kids. We did like a little trick or treat thing before the show.
Oh, and he was wearing his whole
full gimmick, and he was in Booker's room, and the kids would go in there and give him candy. I had to go in there with my gear on and a t-shirt and open the door and say, hey, I was like, hey Marty, it's nice to see you. And I met him from back in the day, and it was crazy how he remembered me. But I was like, hey, we gotta wrestle. And he was like, wait, we gotta wrestle. Oh damn! And he's got like the saliva foam thing. He bites these caps. He's like ripping it out of his mouth, trying to get ready, taking these rings all in his nails off. To compete. And so
his heart.
So he's like, well, all right, what do you want to do? I'm like, look, we'll just keep this simple. I'm gonna throw a punch, you're gonna block it and choke slam me and call it a day.
Okay.
So it was real simple, I just wanted to give the people what they wanted.
Yeah.
I got the microphone and went out there, cut a nasty promo on the kids and candy and stuff, and then he comes out there and saves the day, and it was just a really cool experience for sure.
Yeah. As you mentioned before you went out, you told him, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I know that wrestling matches are very choreographed.
Yeah.
Is it like that with every match? It's like a list by list of what you're going to do. No.
It depends on your opponent. I'm definitely not that style of wrestler where I have to call from beginning to end every little thing.
Yeah.
I like to call moments, like certain things in the match, like when I'm the bad guy. So I'll call out maybe something, the moment when I get back on top.
Yeah.
And you obviously got to call out things like the finish. But that's really, you don't really got to call much from that. I mean.
No.
You might have like a little spot in your head you might call out, but for me and most guys, I think you call a few things, and then a lot of it is just going out there and feeling it.
Okay.
You might do something and a crowd reacts a certain way, and you go, all right, I need to go back to doing that because that's getting the crowd involved.
Yeah.
So scratch what I originally had planned. I'm going to do this instead, and I'm going to tell them as we're going on. So it's a lot of audibles on top of what you call.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, for me, from a improv standpoint,
a lot of improv.
I used to do I still do every now and then, comedy improv, and it's where if audience laughs, all right, that's good. You keep on going, give them what you want, and you're still kind of unsure, but sometimes you kind of give hints of, okay, I'm going to set you up. This is the punchline. You're going to nail it.
Yeah.
So I imagine with wrestling, it's kind of similar. It's all right. I'm doing this move. The crowd likes it, so you're basically saying, all right, do this and then do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I got critiqued the other night in the match we're watching. It kind of falls back on that, where there was this big moment where it was where I gave him this move, and it really it looked like I destroyed his arm. And instead of me this is Book's critique, instead of me just honing in on that arm and putting a submission on it and taunting the crowd, instead I was just kicking it and I gave him another move, and it's you got moments. You got to no matter what you originally call, you got to throw out the window.
Yeah.
Because the crowd, you want that guy at the end of the day, he's the babyface. You want the crowd and him to have sympathy. You want to create that. If I don't create that, I don't do my job as a heel.
Yeah.
So just things like that. It's really intricate, and it's really you gotta a lot of things to process when you're out there.
Definitely.
For sure,
Yeah. So I know that. I was watching one of your matches. You got hit in the mouth. Yeah. And you're bleeding. It's like, oh my gosh, whose blood is it? He bit him.
Yeah, that was Brad and Matt on the call.
Yeah.
I didn't bite him though, and that was me bleeding. That's my scar from it right there, actually.
Do you get stitches?
16. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
7 on the outside and 9 dissolvable on the inside. Yeah.
So was it just like elbow to the mouth? Or?
It was a back fist. And I'm not really used to ever. That's one of those moves I'm not really used to ever taking in wrestling, because everything is usually punches, forearms, uppercuts, where you always feed your head the way you're trained a certain way. And the back fist is when it comes to back fist, you're supposed to feed your head the opposite way for that.
Yeah.
And in that moment, and I've really never taken many back fists, so in that moment I wasn't thinking. I fed my head the normal way, and I got just completely clocked.
Oh my god.
I always tell people, even my head was feed the right way, I still would probably got a concussion or something. He threw a fastball. Nothing Scotty, but he threw it hard.
So what's some other injuries that you sustained from wrestling? I mean, you just had that ladder match. You get any bruises from that, or?
I was a little sore next day. The main thing was I had a baseball on my elbow. That was the
when people the fluid or whatever builds up in the elbow, it's a huge baseball.
Serious fluid from that ladder match on my elbow. Other than that, I had a hole in my tongue from a back body drop. I took a back body drop one time, and I rotated kind of too much, and I landed on my butt, my upper butt, and my the force of my head went like this, and I bit a hole straight through my tongue.
Oh
yeah.
man.
And there's really no way. I went to the doctor. And he's like, "Yeah, we can't stitch this up. You just got to heal, you know."
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird. I'm trying to think of any other injuries. Nothing really crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you're still young, 28. I know that. So how often do you wrestle though?
Will?
No, just how often do you wrestle?
Oh, wrestle. I wrestle anywhere from like 4 to 6 shows a month usually, and I do mostly training. You know, like I usually wrestle anywhere from 1 to 2 times a weekend. You know, so like a Friday or Saturday, and then I train like Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday, depending how I feel that week, 4 or 5 days. Yeah. So I'm constantly just in the ring. Yeah, for sure.
So I know that reality of wrestling here, that the wrestlers you're basically free agents, if you will, right? You're not signed to anything.
Signed anywhere, right? Yeah.
So it's more like a developmental.
Oh yeah, this is I always call it like a develop. We call this like we don't even call this a wrestling school. We call it like a performance center. Like
sure.
We consider ourselves like a kind of like a minor league affiliate to WWE in a sense. Like we're kind of like a minor league. Like they got their performance center, and we try to be like them, but like on a smaller scale.
On a smaller scale. Yeah. So is Rowe? I mean, because Booker T obviously, but I'm sure that he'll chat someone's ear off higher up about some of you guys down here. So I guess how much longer are you planning to stay with Rowe? Are you planning anything, or it's just if an opportunity comes up, I'm going to take it? I
feel like my time at Rowe, I still got a lot of time, I think, to be here and to grow and to learn for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I'm still learning here. I also feel like there's a lot of important stuff coming in our future that like I'd be dumb to leave. You know, like we got TNA coming in July. Like that's a lot of that's a lot of eyeballs like on me. Like they're otherwise
do you know who else is coming from TNA?
I believe it's most of the roster. We're doing like a joint show. So like,
is Rob Van Dam going to be here?
Oh, I don't know. I met Rob before though.
Yeah. He's dude, he'd be so cool to
wrestle. He's a fan favorite. Yeah.
He's so great.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's a really cool guy. Really nice guy too.
Yeah. Probably smells a little funny too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So where do you see yourself as a wrestler, and I guess what point do you want to get to?
I always early 30s. I like to at least have a chance to go and get a tryout in the Performance Center. My main goal is WWE. I'll be lying to say if it's somewhere else, but that's the thing, you know, like who knows what AEW is going to be. You know what I'm saying? TNA, from what I've seen, like they're just getting better and better. You know.
Impact now.
Impact. I always call. Yeah, I'm old. But Impact, you know, they're coming along as well. I mean, there's just like New Japan. You got all these promotions now. You know, you can wrestle for it. So like, it's hard to say where I'm going to be. You know, a couple years from now. I like to see myself at least, you know, having a tryout at the Performance Center though within a couple years. Yeah.
Because when I first met you, we were talking, and you were just like, it's the best time to be a wrestler, really, and it really is, because you got New Japan, Ring of Honor.
That's true. Them too.
Which they just had the G1 Supercard at Madison Square Garden, which is WWE ground, and here you are, another promotion taking over Madison Square Garden. And then we said AEW, which they just got a deal with TNT, which was used to be WCW's ground. So
I'm excited about it too.
And WWE right now, you know, NXT is where it's at, obviously.
Yeah.
I think those best wrestlers are on NXT right now. Even though like Aleister Black, which is my favorite right now, Ricochet, they just went over to Raw or whatever.
Just got called up, right?
Yeah, so I'm like, but still, the storylines, because Vince is ahead of everything, and it's just like his ideas aren't running that well anymore in his age. So it's kind of like, you know, I know a lot of people aren't happy with the current product. Like hopefully in a few years it'll be. You know, even with AEW, I think it's going to kick it up a notch.
They're going to
have
to. Yeah, they're going to have to, because I think AEW for sure is bringing it. So they're going to have to. They're going to have to change something.
Definitely.
To stay relevant or to compete.
Yeah. So, but you said that not AEW, WWE is the main goal.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I grew up watching my whole life.
I mean, for every wrestler, I would say, you know, WWE, they would like to at least try WWE.
Right. Yeah. Everybody wants to walk down that ramp for WrestleMania and compete in front of thousands of people. It's just like it's a dream. It's a goal, and that's. As a wrestler, that's the promotion.
That's the pinnacle.
For sure.
So what would your because you're kind of doing a heel, the rising star. You're like, I'm the best. It reminds me of a young Bret Hart is what it is.
Or Owen Hart with the
Owen Hart, definitely with the
that's pretty much
slammy.
That's pretty much the idea of it. Yeah.
So do you want to continue being that kind of? Do you want to continue being a heel?
I feel like heel is just natural to me. You know, I'm honestly my 3 years I've never been asked to do babyface.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I've gone to promotions and they're like, well, we want you to be kind of like neutral, whatever that means. Like, so I'm like, all right, but yeah, for the most part, I've always been heel. I do need to be babyface at some point, though.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's going to just open up my mind inside the ring just from a different aspect. I need to know what it's like to be the good guy, and I need to know what it's like to get beat up, and then to come back and be the hero, I guess.
Would you want to be like a Rock, Stone Cold type of babyface?
Yeah, that's
like
for sure. Yeah, where I could still wrestle how I want to wrestle, bad, a little dirty, but good guy.
Be the good outlaw.
Exactly.
Billy the Kid.
Yeah,
which I don't know if he was ever a good guy, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Stone Cold type of babyface.
Stone Cold type of babyface. So, Isaiah, what's the gimmick you really want to do?
I don't know. I always I like obviously for here to win a title. I feel like I could be a good champion here. I feel like I could just I can make any title they have here. I can bring value to it,
Yeah, I mean, you're rising star with your
right.
match of the year, and then if you have you're like, now I'm the ultimate star.
Exactly.
With this title, I'm the best ever.
If I can make a piece of wood this valuable, we're climbing up the ladder in a main event to get. I can make. Who knows if I could win a title? That's how in my head, That's what I want to do. I really want to be the champion here. That's what I want to do, and just be the ultimate bad guy, make the crowd hate me, and whoever I'm in the ring with, make them love them.
So your goal right now is just go to the top of Raw, be at the top of Raw right now.
From there, I feel like once I can get to the top of Raw, I can look at new horizons for sure.
I feel like that's a really good goal to have because you're not looking too far ahead. It was like, well, if I go to WWE, well, how do I go to WWE? I have to be at the top of Raw right now.
Exactly, and I also that's just set myself up for failure. You need little challenges. You need to build up from there. For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You really want to do. So
which isn't a little challenge.
It's a challenge,
it's a big challenge, but it's an obtainable challenge that I can see in front of me. For sure.
Yeah, it's a realistic goal.
And it's like
right. and I have the opportunity to achieve it.
Yeah.
So I imagine that Booker is supportive of everyone here.
Yeah, big time.
And he wants everyone to succeed and go on.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I found out, like I said, 2-time Hall of Famer, this is his way of giving back.
Yeah, definitely. He's not asked to do this. This is all, this is his money. This is his, everything he's putting into it. He's like a father figure to us,
Yeah.
He's just somebody you can go to when you need support or, guidance. He's definitely looks out for everybody here.
And he's there to give it to you.
For sure. Yeah, he's definitely never going to hold back on what you need to hear.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to tell you what you need to hear. And
it's like the right type of mentor, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect mentor, yeah. Sensei, whatever.
Sensei? Yeah. Do you call him Sensei or you call him just Book?
No, I call him just Book. Yeah. He's really cool.
That's awesome, man. Well, just a few more questions as we wrap up here, but what's something that you really want to do in the ring that you haven't done yet?
I haven't done the ring yet.
I have an idea that I want to share with you.
Okay.
I think will be awesome. Okay, I was in Toyota Center watching a concert, and I had this idea. All right, it will probably be like a tag team ladder match or something, probably like a fatal 4-way, something like that.
Kind of like WrestleMania 16.
Yeah. And so I had an idea. Okay, I climb on a ladder. Okay, so there's the bad guys laying out of the ring, by the ramp, by the tables. Mm-hmm. I climb up on the ladder. Someone pushes the rope that the belts are hanging on, and I grab onto it, and I swing across, and it's like a tire swing, and I let go, and I land on the guys. I think that would be so cool.
That would be pretty dope,
I would love to do that.
The only thing, all right, I like the idea. The only thing
but it's so many bad things can happen.
So many bad things can happen, and also I don't know. I feel like you'd be trying to rig the titles at the end of the day to get them off.
Yeah. So it's why wouldn't I do that? But it's that's why those are the bad guys. I hate those guys
so much.
I would risk
losing the match.
That's the thing about ladder matches is those guys. I was watching was it WrestleMania 22 or something like that? It was one of the first matches was a Money in the Bank, but it was with Ric Flair and Rob Van Dam. They were in that match, and it's Rob Van Dam. He climbs to the top. All right, where's the title? No, he's not going to grab the title. He's going to frog splash.
right.
And my dad climbed up. He's not that big into wrestling, and he's like, oh, whoever gets the briefcase wins. That's funny because he doesn't get it, but yeah, he saw. He's going. What? Why did he just do that?
Yeah, right. You got those moments in ladder matches where you have a choice. I actually had one with Will. It's I could go up and get the title, or I could give him a diving
I hate this
headbutt.
guy so.
Yeah. Headbutt instead. Yeah.
Dude, I love one of my favorite matches ever is the WrestleMania X7 at the Astrodome the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian.
It was a
rematch.
It was a rematch
from the SummerSlam.
The prior year, from the Mania last year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. It
was the Dudleys, Edge and Christian,
WrestleMania
and Hardys.
2000. Yeah. But I feel like the X7 they definitely
Oh, they basically took that same match they did the year before and basically shot it up with steroids. Yeah, it made it twice as good, I thought. Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about matches, let's talk about top 5 matches real quick.
Top 5.
If you can think of them. All right, I have mine. Okay, one, not in any order, but number 1's definitely The Undertaker, Mankind, Hell in a Cell.
It's up there. Yeah,
it's up
that's
there.
Bad Blood, Hell in a Cell, right?
That was a Ring of Honor. 90. No, not Ring of Honor. King of the Ring.
King of the Ring. Yeah,
I'm sitting in
right.
a King of the Ring chair, so.
Yeah.
I should know. Yeah, it was King.
It was King of the Ring. You're right.
It was King of the Ring, 99, 98, 99.
That's up there. I don't know if it's top 5 for me, but I like it a lot.
Top 5 for me because it's like as real as you're going to get because it's like Mankind literally Mick Foley almost died.
Okay.
Another one is.
How about we go tit for tat? I'll give you one.
Sure. Let's do it.
I'll give you an Undertaker one. It's definitely my top 5, and that's him and Michaels at 25.
Oh, that's probably one that's up there for me too.
I was there in person, and just everybody was standing on their feet. Everybody had goosebumps. Everybody was just completely 100% in the match.
Were you up high or were you?
I was the first row off the ground, the riser level. So
you're pretty close.
Pretty decent. Yeah, it was not a bad seat.
I'm like, yeah, dude, that match, because that's one of the best stories, obviously.
Oh, God, yeah. Just like got the ultimate. I mean, it was really just a story of just 2 veterans, 20-year veterans, finally. I mean, well, they collided before, but it's been years, and they did. They went out there.
It's like heaven versus hell is what it was.
They produced magic.
Angel and demon. And then the next match after that, still a great match, because that's when you're just like, all right, streak versus career.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 26.
They had a good match. It wasn't 25. I don't think it was as good as 25.
It wasn't 20, no.
But it was still very good. Very great match, I thought.
Oh, yeah. I was supposed to watch WrestleMania that day, because that's when it was still on pay-per-view, and my friend freaking never called me back, so I didn't get to watch it. Now I have the network. And I'm watching it now. I'm like, screw you, man. I'm watching it right, 10 years later. Not 10 years later, like 8, 9 years later.
Still get to see it, though, yeah. That's cool.
As I said, WrestleMania X7 is one of my favorite. One of my WrestleMania 13, Bret Hart versus Steve Austin.
That's in my top 5, too.
Yeah,
for sure. That's honestly probably number 1 for me.
Yeah.
I love that match. It's between them. It's honestly that match or the other match that's number 1 for me. But that match has just got a great story. If you recall, Stone Cold was kind of a heel going into that match, and Bret was supposedly the babyface going into the match. And when match was over, they flipped. Yeah, it was a really beautiful thing, and they did that not through talking; they did it through a match, which is really great. And you don't see that often anymore. Yeah,
and you don't, because it was like they basically like flip sides, and Austin's on top now technically. Before the Austin era, before the WrestleMania, the year later, but
and then Bret didn't do nothing special to get that heat. I mean, they wrestled in a submission match where anything goes. Pretty much, you know. And he just. I mean, what he hit him with the ring bell, he hit his leg over the post. And like I don't know, the crowd hated him at the end of it, you know.
And Austin also he gave himself color, even though at the time there was no.
Bret gave it to him actually.
Yeah. But do you know the behind the scenes?
I do. Yeah, I listened to it. It's a really cool story.
Yeah, it was
very cool backstory.
Well, for everyone right here, it was at the time there was no color policy. And so that's when it's like Austin's like, all right, well, if I'm going to pass down the sharpshooter, and why wouldn't I be bleeding? And so Bret's like, don't worry, I got your back. Yeah. I think that's really cool for Bret to be like, you know what, I'll take the heat from Vince. Don't worry.
Right. He's the main guy. He can't fire Bret, you know what I'm saying? So Bret's going to step out on a limb for that. It's really cool, really cool.
What's one of your other favorite matches?
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Macho Man at
WrestleMania 3. Dude, that's such a great match, man.
I love that match. It's just a classic match. I love the finish to it too, just a roll up. You know?
Yeah, right.
Just come out of nowhere.
Just a roll up.
Because they're just going to town, back and forth with each other in that whole match. And for it to just end in a roll up, it's just like as a fan, you're just like, I want more.
Right.
That's the first thing you think of when you see that ending of the match. Like you want to just keep going. But I love it. I always say that's like I always think those are also the best promos before a match. If you go back and watch that match and listen to the Macho Man's promo, if you listen to Steamboat, where it's like we're off to like New Horizons and stuff, like I'm gonna like it's just a great I love that whole WrestleMania, honestly.
When you try to do your promos, who do you study the most with promos?
Oh, that's tough, because I'm really weird in my promos. I'm like,
Brenden freaking Steen.
Yeah, I have like I do a little bit of comedy in my promos. I do a little bit of cocky, and then I also have my serious promos. Who do I look at for promos? I like Edge. Edge had a really great. He could talk, man. Jericho. I love those just like those kind of bad guy promos they had back in the day. Those are 2 for sure.
Yeah, because when Jericho came on Raw, and just like Raw is Jericho. It's like I'm taking over, and then Edge. I love the whole Edge rated R superstar gimmick. He always had that look on his face, like I'm here. And then, me and my friend were talking about when him and Lita did that live sex thing.
Oh yeah, I remember
how did that happen? How did they get
different
that?
Different time, dude. Yeah, different time.
I mean, I know the ratings went up for sure.
Oh, they had to.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But
can't do that no more.
right. Oh no, man.
What about you? You're in your third, right? Did you say your third match yet? Out of the 5?
I think I kind of like, cause I mentioned.
Foley and
I mentioned the Foley and Undertaker. I said
Stone Cold and Bret.
Stone Cold and Bret. Well, I kind of said it already, but the WrestleMania X7 ladder match.
Okay, that's your top 5. Okay,
Top 5,
I like that, yeah.
obviously. And I did agree with you. The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. That's one of my favorite. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say, let me think. I haven't really gone this far, but the WrestleMania 10 Razor Ramon Shawn Michaels ladder match.
Oh really?
That's a good match, man.
That's a good one.
Shawn Michaels is one of my favorite because he's one of my favorite superstars in general. Mm-hmm. Just the way like he dances to his theme song. He's very cocky in his younger days. Yeah. Even though that was like his real life also, and he was just. I love Sweet Chin Music's one of my favorite finishers.
Because it's like RKO. It can come out of nowhere from anywhere. You know, it's just like it's out of nowhere kind of reaction. You know.
And how they get that.
Oh, the smack, yeah.
That's how you do it, right? When you like hit someone in the face, it's like that smack. Just
some guys do it, some guys don't. Some guys, you know, they just got a nice good kick where they don't need to do it. But yeah, most guys they try to get that at least a sound effect so the crowd can relate.
Yeah. But did you do all your 5 yet?
I got 2 more, I think. I'm gonna go. Let me see. I gotta go Bret Hart and Owen from WrestleMania 10.
Okay.
I'll probably put that in my top 5. And I probably got some more, but the one that I just keep thinking of is Jericho and Michaels from 19.
That's one of them. Yeah.
Love that match.
Dude, that's such a good match. It's such a high quality match.
That's my favorite WrestleMania, honestly. Is 19.
WrestleMania 19?
They have so many good matches on that card.
So it's kind of controversial, the Booker Triple H match, because
I loved it, honestly.
It's on that whole storyline because
the promo.
It's race centered, and Booker T didn't win. Does he ever talk about that? Any?
I've never heard him personally say anything about the match. I've heard people been here who've said they've asked about the match or asked to watch it in film study, and I feel like he feels neutral. For the most part,
I would love to talk to him about
that. Yeah. I don't feel like he's like looks back on it on a bad way. At the end of the day, he was in a title match at WrestleMania, so I feel like and he was against the best person in the company at that time. So I don't look at it as a bad angle. I thought honestly, I remember watching the whole thing when I was younger, and I loved it. I loved that whole. Yeah. I liked their the whole build up going into that, and I thought their match was great. Having Flair out there was like Flair was the reason Book lost. That's the story they told, and. I love the match, so I don't really.
WrestleMania 19, that's a good wrestling. I watch it not long, and then the Brock and Angle.
Brock and Angle was the main, yep.
And then Brock freaking did the shooting star press and almost killed himself. Mm-hmm.
Hogan and Vince. I mean, you had some matches, man. You had a lot of good.
And
matches.
then Vince, that image is still in my mind when he's looking over the ring
with
and
the
he's
lead pipe. God. He's really he's honestly one of the best heels when you really think about it.
Vince McMahon. He's the top villain, man.
Honestly, probably number 1. He was especially during the era with Stone Cold and The Rock. Yeah, he was the ultimate bad guy.
Because he's the boss, and he's a bad guy. Like how more evil can you get than that?
Yeah, and people can relate to that. Not many people like their boss when you really think about it. Yeah.
And then that's why Stone Cold got over so well. Mm-hmm. Also, because he's like, hey, I'm wrestling for the working man.
I screw everybody. I'm gonna do what I want, and the boss can't. He can tell me no.
Yeah. Definitely. So what's your dream match? Who would you want to wrestle?
Oh man, I'll tell you right now, Book would be up there for sure.
Book.
I'd love to wrestle Book.
He wrestled Rex Andrews, right?
Recently, in January.
And that was his first time wrestling in a few years, yeah.
Yeah, he came out of retirement for that match, and they had a really good match. I'd love to wrestle Book if I had that opportunity. Right now on the roster, if I had a choice. He got a lot of great talent. I would say probably Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
I feel like he's just somebody you could really put really just such an intricate match with him. I think he thinks really outside the box.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a whole fan of anyone from the Shield, just because especially not Roman Reigns, because he's just trying to be a baby face the whole time, and he'll be a great heel.
Yeah.
And WWE is too stupid enough to not make him a heel.
I see why they do it though, because I think that's where the money's at. You know, all the kids gravitate towards him. He's like their John Cena type.
Yeah,
so you're always gonna have people like that, and they're just gonna keep pushing and pushing them down your throat. You know, kind of.
Definitely. But Seth Rollins.
Yeah, for me, I think if I had to pick one guy right now on the roster that I'd like to wrestle, it'd be him for sure.
Yeah, that'd be a good match too, man.
I've taken a suicide dive from him, so maybe I
do it.
Yeah, I already did it.
Oh,
yeah, Monday Night Raw thing. I was one of the security guys for him and Dean Ambrose's feud.
Oh crap, dude! I was. Are you talking about when they were in Houston?
Yeah. I was out there. I was one of the guys in the mask.
I was a seat filler. I was second row. I was sitting behind Josh Reddick, which is the
point guard, right?
No, he's Josh Reddick plays for the Astros. He's an outfielder.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Guard.
That's right.
No, I was a seat filler. So basically,
I'm thinking of JJ Reddick. Or is that his name?
Josh Reddick. JJ Watt, you're thinking of.
Okay, I'm thinking of that. There was a white basketball player. He was really good 3-point shooter. I forget his name.
Either Sam Decker or Ryan Anderson from the Rockets at the time.
Okay, yeah, I'm not. I probably got mixed up. Yeah.
But no, I was a seat filler. So basically, my friend, he's working at Toyota Center, and he's like, hey, send this guy an email. So seat filler basically just showed up, and they're like, all right, if there's an empty seat, I want to tell you guys where to sit. You know, so one time we just got second row right in front of the front of the ring, and the rest are facing it. Then all of a sudden, it's like, well, there's World Series champion Josh Reddick.
Yeah.
And so I just talked to him. But you were one of the bodyguards for that.
Yeah.
How did you get that? Because they reached out to Book, so you got any guys? And
well, it's just extra work you get called out for, and you send your information. And if they, they bring you on. It's funny. We were going over to that spot or whatever. That segment, I guess, we're sitting out there, and I originally wasn't supposed to be in that segment. I was supposed to do be the medical doctor for some kind of segment they had on Raw that night.
Okay, yeah.
But we wind up switching me with somebody else because that person didn't know English.
Oh.
So they're trying to explain the spot to him, and he was fluent in Japanese and knew very little English.
Okay.
So they're like, we got to replace him. So they replaced. I wound up popping over the barricade to take his spot, and I wound up being the guy who had to take the dive from that.
Yeah. So what it was, for anyone that can't remember, during when Monday Night Raw was last in Houston, Dean Ambrose came out. It was when he was still part of the company, and he was wearing a gas mask, and he had like 15 guys with him.
About 10, yeah.
Yeah, wearing gas masks, just standing around the ring. And then Seth Rollins. I have a video of Seth Rollins running right past me into the ring, but maybe I'll show you after it's over, because I'll see if you can show me where you're standing. But he came over and he knocked you over, though, right?
Yeah, he just drove out the ring, knocked me to my butt. Yeah.
So that night, did you get to talk to any of the other wrestlers, or?
I got to talk to Dean and Seth very briefly, but they're really nice guys. In that, when you're in that like extra thing, you kind of just want to be like a fly on the wall. You know?
I'm here, so I'm going to hold my plate. Yeah, I've been in this situation plenty of times.
I talked to Bobby Lashley a little bit. He came up behind me when I was getting a physical, and he put his hands on my shoulder. He's just like, I was like, "Are you ready for tonight, bro?" And I was like, "What?" So,
just random Bobby Lashley. You never met him in your life.
Yeah.
Come on.
He actually used to train with us a long time ago too.
Oh, so you kind of know him.
I didn't know him though. That's the thing. Like I came after he trained with Book. But when he first started in the WWF, he was coming to the books at the same time to get, like, I guess you would say, more polished.
Yeah.
So he's got history with us for sure.
Bobby Lashley, that creepy Bobby
Super
Lashley.
Nice guy.
Yeah. But because I know a lot of wrestlers before they're in WWE, they're kind of coming out for segments. I know CM Punk was like the gangster for John
22.
Cena, 22, and I know Dean Ambrose was one of the droids or whatever, Undertaker, I think he was something like that.
Okay.
He did something. He came out, but
I know Charlotte and Sasha and
Alexa came out for Triple H for WrestleMania 30.
So you have those like moments, they get that.
So that's cool, man. So that's saying really good stuff for you. It's like, there I was.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll be on Monday Night Raw one day,
Hopefully
and I'll be like, and I'm like, hey, I've interviewed that guy when he was still at Raw.
Right, yeah. It was cool though to come down that ramp, man. There's nothing like that.
I can only imagine, man. That'd be so cool.
Seeing a whole center of people, it's just nuts, man.
Yeah, because like I said, because wrestling fan, but kind of drifted away from it. Now I'm back into it. I just love it, so I just want to be involved with it, So it's because who knows where wrestling can take anyone, really.
Exactly.
And even though
there's so many avenues, so many places, ways to go.
Yeah, and even though people, Mom says it's fake. Mom, imagine a 300-pound guy landing on top of you. Are you going to feel it? Yes, because you know why? Pain isn't fake.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
there's nothing. Obviously, it's choreographed. I always say there's nothing fake about wrestling. You feel everything that's in there.
It's like sports theater in one, technically.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it.
I think Book said it best one time because he obviously gets asked that all the time. Is wrestling fake? And he goes,
just open hand slap people.
Right. He goes. I know the roof of my house and the car that I drive and everything that I own. Nothing about that's fake. So,
yeah,
and
you
it's
got
like,
that from wrestling.
It's all from wrestling, you know.
So,
right.
But yeah, you said you're starting out. You're not making any money yet, are you? Or are you?
It's not much.
Not much.
Yeah. It's kind of like a struggling artist. Yeah, I guess you'd say.
Struggling, exactly. And then that shows, where I'm in trying to do my interviews, starting this, am I making any money from it? No, but I have the platform. I'm going to use it best to my advantage, and hopefully something will come from it.
Right.
And so hopefully same goes for you. You're here and have a great opportunity, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So hey, man, anything else you want to say? Put in your Instagram, your Twitter, or whatever.
Not really. I may promote the show we got upcoming. We're doing we're going to be doing our show for the Houston Dynamo on June 1st. We're going to be like right outside their little stadium to put on the show for them. So
like a wrestling show?
Yeah, it's going to be like, I think bell time will be at 6 or 6:30 for that.
I don't know if this is going to be out before that.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm still going to try and get for a few more episodes before I release.
If not that, then July 8th, I think. I want to say it's July 8th. July 8th is the TNA
show.
Joint show. Don't miss that. That's definitely coming up.
That'd be really cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, if I don't put this out till then, you can probably go watch it it'll probably be on YouTube. I'm sure. Yeah. Reality Wrestling or Row on YouTube.
Yeah, or Fight TV. We're also
or Fight TV. Yeah. Go check out Row. Go check out Rising Star Brenden Steen. Hey man, it's a pleasure talking to you, man. Really fun. Thank you for coming on.
Appreciate you having me, brother.
Anytime, man. Anytime you want to come back on, dude, I'd love talking more about old wrestling with you.
Yeah, maybe bringing somebody else from Row or something.
That'll be awesome, man.
Yeah.
Booker. Book, where are you at?
I'll try to talk to him. All right, get it done.
Hey, man, I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.